Okay, so let's talk about Taylor Swift. Yes, that Taylor Swift. The woman who turned a breakup into $1 billion, a re-recording project into a cultural revolution, and a football game appearance into a national economic event. The woman who made the Federal Reserve nervous. The actual Federal Reserve. Because her tour was moving so much money that economists had to sit down and write papers about it like she was a natural disaster with better hair. And here you are, eating cereal for dinner, Googling passive income ideas at 2 in the morning, watching motivational videos between episodes of The Office for the 14th time. You've got dreams, sure, but you also have 17 unfinished projects, a side hustle that made $40 last March, and a savings account that looks like it's on life support. So what's the difference between you and her? Well, besides the obvious, besides the talent, the timing, the label deal at 14, the generational platform, the army of fans who would literally fight for her in hand-to-hand combat. Besides all that, psychologically, mentally, in terms of how she operates her brain like a Fortune 500 company with a stadium tour attached. That's what we're breaking down today. 10 signs you have the psychology of a Taylor Swift-level billionaire. And before you get excited, no, this is not a compliment, this is a diagnosis, and you probably don't have it. But let's find out together. Sign number 1, she owns everything. And I mean everything. When she couldn't get her master's back, she didn't cry about it on Twitter for a week and then delete the tweets. She went back and re-recorded 6 albums from scratch. 6. That's not petty. That's not revenge. That's a woman who understood that ownership is the only thing that matters in a capitalist economy and acted accordingly. Meanwhile, you signed up for a freelance gig and didn't read the contract because it was too long. Cool. You now own nothing. Enjoy your hourly rate. Sign number 2, she treats her brand like a religion. Every Easter egg, every color, every cardigan, every cryptic Instagram post is intentional. Her fans build spreadsheets. They build actual spreadsheets, trying to decode her next move. She has created a level of brand engagement that marketing professors study in universities. You, on the other hand, haven't posted on your business Instagram since November because you weren't feeling inspired. Your audience of 43 followers is doing just fine without you. Sign number 3. She understands that loyalty is a currency. Taylor Swift has been collecting fans since she was a teenager, and she has not lost them. She upgrades them. She adds to them. She turned casual listeners into lifelong Swifties who buy 4 versions of the same album just to get different photos. That's not manipulation. That's community building at a supernatural level. Your networking strategy, by comparison, is sending a LinkedIn request and never speaking to the person again. You have connections, you have 0 relationships. Sign number 4, she never stops. The Eras Tour was not a tour. It was a 3-hour theatrical production performed in stadiums, multiple nights in a row, across multiple continents for over a year. She danced, she sang live, she cried, she interacted with the crowd, she did it again the next night, and the night after that. You took 3 weeks off after a mildly stressful Tuesday and called it burnout, which, to be fair, might actually have been burnout. But Taylor Swift has a different relationship with momentum. She builds it, and she stays inside it. Most people treat momentum like a gift they receive. She treats it like infrastructure she maintains. Sign number 5. She monetizes everything. The movie of the tour, the Spotify records, the albums, the merch, the collabs, the friendship circle that functions simultaneously as a PR machine and a genuine support network. Every element of her life has been turned into something productive without feeling fake. Because here's the secret. She actually believes in it. She's not performing authenticity. She is authentic, and she also knows how to package authenticity in a way that makes $300 million. That combination is extraordinarily rare. Most people are either genuine but disorganized or polished but hollow. She figured out how to be both real and strategic at the same time. You are currently neither. You are chaotic and unbranded. That's a very specific kind of bad. Sign number 6. She controls the narrative. When the media tries to write her story, she rewrites it. When someone calls her calculating, she writes a song called Mastermind and leans into it completely. When her reputation gets burned to the ground, she names the next album Reputation and releases it with a snake motif. She takes the thing they use against her and turns it into the title of the project. That's not spin. That's dominance. The last time someone said something negative about you online, sent a passive-aggressive subtweet, and then deleted it 30 minutes later. Sign number 7. She plays the long game while also winning the short game. This is the one that really breaks people's brains. Most of us can manage one or the other. Either we sacrifice now for the future, or we chase what feels good today. She somehow does both simultaneously. She releases music that satisfies the immediate market while building a catalog that grows in value over decades. She maintains current cultural relevance while also building legacy. That's a rare cognitive architecture. Most people can't see past the next paycheck. She's playing 5-dimensional chess, and you're still learning how the horsey moves. Sign number 8. She doesn't wait for permission. At 14, she moved to Nashville. She pitched herself to every label. She was rejected by most of them. She eventually got a deal, and then when that deal went bad, she did not sit around waiting for someone to fix it. She fixed it herself. Loudly. Publicly. Successfully. The average person waits for permission to start, permission to scale, permission to be taken seriously. You have been waiting for someone to tell you you're ready. Nobody is coming. That memo was never sent. It will never be sent. You have to start without the stamp of approval. That's the terrifying truth hiding inside this entire list. Sign number 9. She is comfortable being hated. At the height of the Kimye drama, she was one of the most disliked public figures in America. Canceled on social media before canceling was even the word for it. She went quiet. She went dark. She made reputation and came back bigger. Most people collapse the second they receive a mean comment from an anonymous account with a default profile picture. She absorbed a national-scale pile-on and converted it into creative energy. You need to understand that the ability to be disliked without dissolving is a genuine superpower. Most people shrink to avoid disapproval. She expanded through it. Sign number 10. She made her vulnerabilities into assets. Every heartbreak, every public humiliation, every bad deal, every failed relationship, every awkward phase, she turned all of it into content, into art, into connection with an audience of millions who feel like she's writing about their lives. That's the final boss psychology. Not pretending the hard stuff didn't happen, not hiding the messy parts. Alchemizing them into something that generates both meaning and money. It's genuinely rare. Most people bury their losses or overshare them in therapy speak on social media without any of the craft. She has the craft, and the willingness, and the strategic awareness to know when and how to use it. So there it is, 10 psychological traits. 10 ways of operating that separate someone who builds an empire from someone who talks about building one while watching someone else build one. And look, you're probably not Taylor Swift. Most people aren't. The deck was stacked in specific ways for her that it simply isn't stacked for most. But the mental patterns, the ownership mentality, the long game thinking, the ability to stay in motion, control your narrative, build loyalty, monetize your reality, and survive being hated, those aren't locked behind a record deal. Those are choices. Hard, uncomfortable, daily choices that most people don't make because it's easier not to. The cereal is still in the bowl. The side hustle still made $40. The savings account is still blinking weekly. But at least now you know exactly what you're not doing. And that somehow is exactly the kind of thing Taylor Swift would find a way to turn into a hit song.